The third step is to enter operational data, including hours, miles, and trips information, into the Operational Data tab. You should enter the total actual data for the period rather than scheduled service information. In this step, you can also report the names of local sponsors on shared ride demand responsive services, along with their passenger hours and miles data. This is key for sub-allocating costs on the route or service to each local sponsor. From the navigation menu, click on the Step 3 Enter Operational Data button, which will take you to the Step 3 tab. The tab will appear as shown below the first time you use it, as data populates in the tab while it is saved. Begin entering operational data for each route or service into the available blanks for hours, miles, and trips. Then click the Save and Go to New Service button to continue progressing through each route or service you saved in Step 1. Vehicle hours and miles are required to be entered for each route or service, as they are necessary for two-variable cost allocation. Entering revenue hours, revenue miles, and passenger trips data are optional, but needed in order for the calculator to calculate performance measures. Revenue hours or miles must be less than or equal to vehicle hours or miles data entered. If the route or service is characterized as a sponsored service type in Step 1, a button will appear saying Enter Passenger Hours and Miles data to allocate sponsored services. Clicking this button will navigate to the Sponsored Services Data tab. Here you can further allocate expenses for each sponsored service within the overall route or service. For each sponsor name to report, click on the View or Edit Sponsors button to type in the name and an optional description. A new row will appear to enter additional names as you enter text in the list. Once you have finished naming and describing the sponsors, you can click the Save and Close Form button at the bottom of the tab. Next, report the passenger hours and miles for the sponsor on the given route or service. Then click the Save and Add Another Sponsor for this route or service button to enter data for additional sponsors. You can also enter data for the number of sponsored passenger trips, though this is not used for sub-allocating data to the sponsors. The total passenger hours, miles, and trips data entered in the sponsored services data for the route or service should be equal to the total for the given route or service. If there are any routes or services that do not have the vehicle hours or miles fields completed, a pop-up message will appear when you click on the Save and Close Form button. At any point, you can edit or delete the data record for a given route or service by clicking on the left or right arrow buttons to navigate through each record, or clicking directly on the record in the data list. Data will save each time you click on one of the three Save button options. Once you are finished editing and want to return to the main page, click the Save and Close Form button to return to the navigation menu.